Welcome to our video on student debt systems around the globe. Today, we'll explore 7 countries that have implemented excellent strategies to alleviate the burden of student loans, showcasing their unique approaches to making education accessible and affordable. We'll also examine 3 countries where the student debt situation is notably challenging, highlighting the obstacles that students face. Join us as we navigate through these contrasting systems and uncover valuable insights into higher education financing. 1. Germany. Tuition-free education for all. Germany's higher education system continues to turn heads in 2025. Public universities here do not charge tuition fees, not even for international students, which is a rare policy globally. According to the German Academic Exchange Service, DAAD, there are about 2.9 million students enrolled in German universities, with international students making up roughly 14%. The only mandatory costs are administrative fees, typically between €250 and €350 per semester, covering public transport and student services. This approach ensures that a diverse group of students, regardless of background, can pursue degrees without worrying about lifelong financial burdens. The model has also led to a steady increase in international applications, as more students seek affordable, high-quality education. Most German graduates finish university with little to no debt, allowing them to start their careers unencumbered. The German government's continued investment in tertiary education highlights its belief in education as a right, not a privilege. 2. Norway. Generous loan forgiveness and support. Norway's student debt system is widely praised for its flexibility and generosity. The Norwegian State Educational Loan Fund offers loans that can be converted into grants based on academic achievement. Students who complete their degrees on schedule can have up to 40% of their loan forgiven, which rewards hard work and timely graduation. In 2024, the average debt held by Norwegian graduates was 200,000 Norwegian kroner, about $20,000, significantly lower than in many developed countries. This system is designed to ease pressure on students and encourage them to finish their studies on time. The government also provides monthly stipends for living expenses, ensuring that students from all income levels can access higher education. This model is credited with keeping student default rates low and making higher education more accessible to everyone. Norway's commitment to education as a public good is reflected in its ongoing reforms and financial support. 3. Canada. Income-driven repayments reduce pressure. Canada's approach to student debt centers on flexibility and fairness. The Canada Student Loans Program allows graduates to repay loans based on their income, with payments capped at 10% of earnings above a set threshold. In 2025, the average debt for Canadian graduates stands at $28,000 Canadian dollars, or about $21,000. This income-driven plan has made it easier for young professionals to manage their finances, especially in the early years of their careers. The Canadian government has increased grants and bursaries for low-income students, making university more accessible to those who might otherwise be excluded. In 2024, more than 70% of borrowers qualified for some form of repayment assistance, and default rates have steadily declined. The focus on income-based repayments means that graduates are not overwhelmed by debt, even if their salaries are modest at first. This system is widely regarded as one of the most humane and effective among major economies. 4. Australia. HECS Help Scheme offers real flexibility. Australia's HECS Help Scheme is often cited as a model for making student debt manageable and fair. Students can defer tuition fees until they reach an income threshold, currently $48,000 Australian dollars, $34,000, as of 2025. This means that graduates only start paying back their loans when they are financially able. The average student debt in Australia is around $30,000 Australian dollars, $21,000, but the flexible repayment terms make this manageable for most. Repayments are automatically deducted from salaries through the tax system, so there's no risk of forgetting a payment or falling behind. The government has also introduced targeted support for Indigenous and rural students, making higher education more inclusive. Students do not accrue interest on their debt, instead, the amount is indexed to inflation, reducing the long-term financial impact. Australia's system is widely credited with improving access to education without trapping graduates in debt. 5. Sweden. Free tuition and low-interest loans. Sweden's student debt system combines free tuition for Swedish and EU students with affordable, low-interest loans. In 2025, public universities in Sweden do not charge tuition fees for domestic or EU students, while non-EU students pay a relatively modest amount. The Swedish National Board of Student Aid provides loans at interest rates below 1%, which makes repayment far less daunting. The average student debt in Sweden is 100,000 Swedish kronor, $10,000, much lower than international averages. Graduates are required to repay only up to 4% of their annual income, ensuring that repayments never become overwhelming. The government also offers generous grants and allowances for living expenses, supporting students from diverse backgrounds. This combination of low fees, grants, and manageable loans means that Swedish students rarely face crippling debt after graduation. Sweden's approach is cited as a key factor in its high university attendance and completion rates. 6. Finland. Robust financial aid and flexible repayment. Finland offers a blend of grants and loans to make higher education accessible and affordable. The Finnish government provides student loans with low interest rates, and many students also qualify for monthly grants to cover living costs. In 2023, the average debt for Finnish graduates was €15,000, $16,000, a figure that has remained stable due to ongoing government support. Repayment schedules are flexible, with payments based on graduates' incomes. Many loans are partially subsidized, reducing the long-term cost of borrowing. The Finnish Ministry of Education continually reviews policies to ensure that students are not deterred from attending university due to financial concerns. More than 60% of Finnish students benefit from some form of grant or subsidy, making the system both inclusive and effective. This balanced approach has helped Finland maintain high levels of educational attainment and low student loan default rates. 7. France. Low tuition and substantial support. France's public universities charge some of the lowest tuition fees in the developed world, averaging just €170 per year for undergraduates in 2025. The French government provides a wide range of scholarships and need-based grants, ensuring that higher education is within reach for most families. Average student debt in France is about €12,000, $13,000, with most of this arising from living expenses rather than tuition. Students from low-income families can apply for housing subsidies and transport discounts, further reducing costs. Repayment terms for government-backed loans are designed to be flexible, with low interest rates and income-based plans available. The emphasis on low fees and generous support has resulted in high university participation rates, especially among first-generation students. France's model demonstrates that it's possible to combine quality education with financial accessibility for all. 8. United States. High debt and complex repayment. The United States faces a student debt crisis of staggering proportions, with total outstanding loans reaching more than $1.7 trillion in 2025. The average graduate leaves university with about $30,000 in debt, and many owe much more. Interest rates can exceed 6%, making repayment a major burden for many young professionals. Only a fraction of borrowers qualify for income-driven repayment plans, and many are unaware of these options or find them difficult to navigate. Nearly 20% of federal student loan borrowers were in default as of 2024, according to the U.S. Department of Education. The diversity of loan providers and programs creates confusion and can lead to missed payments or penalties. Calls for reform have intensified as more Americans question whether higher education is worth the financial risk. The lack of a unified, affordable repayment system leaves many graduates struggling for years. 9. Mexico. Barriers to access and costly loans. Mexico's student debt landscape is marked by limited government support and high barriers to borrowing. The average debt for Mexican graduates is about 100,000 Mexican pesos, $5,000, as of 2025. But this figure is misleadingly low because only a minority of students can secure formal loans. Strict eligibility requirements mean that just 30% of students receive any form of financial aid, according to the Mexican Ministry of Education. Most students who do borrow are forced to turn to private lenders, who often charge high interest rates, sometimes exceeding 10% annually. The lack of a comprehensive national student loan program results in significant inequality, as low-income students are often excluded from higher education altogether. Graduates who do take on debt face rigid repayment terms, with little flexibility for periods of unemployment or low earnings. Many families are forced to make sacrifices or take on informal debt to fund their children's education. 10. Brazil. Rising debt amid economic struggles. Brazil's student debt system is under severe strain due to economic instability and underfunded government programs. The average debt for Brazilian graduates is 25,000 Brazilian reals, $5,000, as of 2025, but this amount is rising quickly. The government's primary financial aid program, FAIS, has faced cutbacks and delays, forcing more students to rely on private loans with interest rates as high as 12%. High youth unemployment rates make it difficult for many graduates to keep up with repayments. In 2024, over 40% of borrowers reported difficulty making their loan payments, and delinquency rates have climbed sharply. The lack of robust income-driven repayment options leaves struggling graduates with few alternatives. Economic downturns have led to reduced funding for scholarships and grants, intensifying the debt crisis for Brazil's students. The system is widely seen as in urgent need of reform.